You're watching HNNCast with Space Rogue on the Hacker News Network.
HNNCast is sponsored by Immunity Incorporated. Knowing you're secure. Become a sponsor. Email sales@hackernews.com.
This is Space Rogue for the Hacker News Network, and this is HNNCast for the third week of October 2009. This week we have stories on the second PayChoice breach, Rogue AV tricks 43 million, Time Warner put 65,000 at risk, and Metasploit is sold. But first, our top story. Once featured on America's Most Wanted, Edwin Pena is scheduled to arrive in New Jersey this week after being extradited from Mexico to face charges that he defrauded long-distance telephone companies out of $1.4 million in an elaborate voice-over IP scam. Pena was arrested in 2006 along with his partner in crime, Robert Moore, after the pair would sell wholesale voice-over IP services at extremely discounted rates, and then would route the traffic over compromised telephone company networks. The pair would gain access to the networks usually by misconfigured Cisco routers with default passwords. Moore once claimed that it was so easy a caveman could do it. Moore was sentenced to 18 months back in 2006 and has already served his time. He claims that Pena paid him only $20,000 to do the break-ins. Pena, on the other hand, used much of his ill-gotten gains in collecting BMWs, including this pimped-out yellow one. Sweet. The telephone companies that were easy to breach were, unfortunately, not named in the complaint. Rapid7, a security services company headquartered in Boston, has bought the open-source project Metasploit, the world's largest database of public tested exploits. Many people in the community are looking at this as a good thing. With more resources being thrown at the project, it can only get better, right? However, those of us who are a bit more skeptical look at the history of others who have gone before, like Nessus or Loftcrack or even the original HNN. Sure, it looks great now, but let's see where we are in a year or so. We will remain cautiously optimistic and wish Metasploit folks all the best. But if this pic of HD Moore in a suit is any indication of the future, get ready to spork. For the second time in a month, payroll services provider PayChoice has been breached, forcing them to shut down their online payroll service portal, onlineemployer.com. The breach was discovered after some clients noticed fake employees being added to their payrolls. PayChoice's investigation has revealed that the intruders gained access by exploiting the change password function on the website. The breach just happens to coincide with a major conference for the American Payroll Association, leaving many shops understaffed. If the attack was planned to coincide with the conference, it shows an increase in sophistication on the part of the bad guys. Make sure your defenses are in order before you leave your kingdom. A Time Warner cable modem and Wi-Fi router deployed to 65,000 customers have been found to all have the same password. This could allow a remote attacker to intercept all internet traffic. The vulnerability lies with the Time Warner's SMC 8014 series cable modem Wi-Fi router combo. David Chen, who originally discovered the vulnerability, contacted Time Warner 4 weeks ago, but they told him there was nothing they could do about it. However, shortly after Wired.com reported on the issue, Time Warner suddenly decided that it was something that they could work on. Let's hear it for full disclosure. We'll be right back with more HNNCast right after these messages. Welcome back to HNNCast. A year-long study by Symantec researchers entitled Report on Rogue Security Software was released last Monday. Symantec indicated on the report that they found 250 varieties of scam security software being sold online for between $30 and $100 each. Distribution was handled by an extremely efficient affiliate model that may have tricked as many as 43 million people to download and pay for the fake software. South Korea is blaming North Korea for a cyber raid of its Chemicals Accident Response Information System. Access was apparently gained after the attackers copied the login ID from a compromised personal computer of an Army officer. You know, it must be nice to have a boogeyman nearby that you can conveniently blame everything on with no way to verify anything. I have no way to confirm this either, but I seriously doubt that North Korea has any ability to cyber attack anything. And now Courtney brings us a story about robot security. Courtney?
Thanks, Space Rogue. Research in the area of autonomous robots is fueling some amusing gadgets in the marketplace. The Roomba, for instance, while a very cool device, is rather simple compared to what's actually possible, like the RoboSapien, Rovio, and Spikey, each of which can be controlled wirelessly and sport a built-in webcam and microphone, and each of which can easily be hacked. Researchers at the University of Washington recently released a study that showed that all three of these robots were vulnerable to very basic remote attacks. Kind of freaky to think that the toy you got for Christmas is spying on you, eh? While Asimov's 3 laws of robotics don't exist yet, if you're developing or building robots, remember they may be just as vulnerable to attack as your desktop. That's it for me this week. This is Courtney for the Hacker News Network. Back to you, Space Rogue.
Thanks, Courtney. Oh, and speaking of Courtney, 2 weeks ago she brought us a report on homebrew intelligence reports. Well, Project Grey Goose, an open source intelligence initiative, has teamed up with the University of Albany to investigate power grid blackouts caused by cyber attacks. The project hopes to find out just how vulnerable power grid SCADA systems really are. Evidently, private industry, which essentially owns the U.S. power grid, enjoys strong protection from public scrutiny. This new project hopes to publicly disclose its results in an effort to increase pressure on lawmakers to fund cybersecurity initiatives before a cyber attack. Sounds like a good idea. Last week we told you about Solo, aka Gary McKinnon's final appeal over his extradition to the U.S. to face charges of breaking into NASA computers. Well, it looks like he gets yet another chance. The UK Home Secretary has agreed to temporarily stay the extradition to look at new evidence regarding Solo's diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome. If the Home Secretary actually cancels his extradition, Solo would likely still face a trial in the UK. However, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has said that they do not feel that they have enough sufficient evidence to prosecute him in the United Kingdom. You know, this is the 7th year of this case, and frankly, I'm just getting a little bit tired of it. Before we get to the quickies this week, we here at HNN are proud to announce a major expansion to HackerNews.com. The community public section is now live and contains all sorts of goodness, from con listings to cool video offerings, and all sorts of other cool stuff. Yes, for those that don't know, community public relates to SNMP. Still confused? Try Google. Oh, and you can also find the top entries to the HNN Picture Contest. Yes, finally! The winning entry for the DEF CON 17 Picture Contest goes to Brian Brown, who took this photo of a huge HNN sticker displayed during Hacker Court at Black Hat. If you've never seen Hacker Court, I highly recommend it. Runner-up photos include a picture of an HNN sticker on the DoD Cybercrime Center table and the picture of DEF CON organizer Dark Tangent holding a pile of stickers. If the HNN sticker had been stuck to a Hack Me sign and then put on his back, then it might have won. But congratulations to Brian and everyone who helped spread the word. Thanks. You can check out all the top photo entries in the community public section on HackerNews.com. We'll be right back with the HNN Quickies right after these messages.